Welcome everyone to SYA Academy. So friends, in this video we will going to talk about Teach for India Fellowship Program. This is one of the most prestigious fellowship programs in India, and this fellowship program is known throughout the world. Before we start the process, I request you to subscribe SYA Academy and help us in promoting SYA Academy. We are focused on providing quality education, skills, and clearing doubts of millions of students. So let's begin the process of Teach for India, how the Teach of India process begins, and what you need to prepare in the Teach for India process. So friends, if someone wants to understand what Teach for India does, I request you to see few videos or look at their website also, in which they have explained in detail about their program. However, to give you a brief, what Teach for India does is it teaches in low budget government schools or private schools. Yes, government as well as private both, but they are usually low budgeted governments and private schools. Basically, if you are selected into Teach for India program, then you will going to teach in the low budgeted government or private schools, and maybe you may teach for first class or you may teach to 8th class. So it could be up to that level. Most of the times it is between first to 8th class only. However, you might need to teach in other classes also, but usually it is for the first and 8th class. Okay, so basically, if you are selected into Teach for India fellowship program, so what you will going to do, you will going to teach in some school for 2 years, right? Low budgeted and government schools for 2 years, right? So this is about the program. So, and this is very prestigious program. I'm sure if you are looking to this video, then you surely know about some of the advantages of joining this Teach for India program. They have a rich alumni, and you get advantage, especially if you want to do MBA, right? If you want to do MBA, then it is especially helpful to have a fellowship of Teach for India. And one of the schools which usually takes Teach for India fellows is Indian School of Business. And along with that, Teach for India fellowship has a reputation among the several companies. Also, they provide respect and honor if you have completed the program, and also they understand that you have gained a lot of knowledge. Some of the companies like Goldman Sachs, Pratham NGO, these institutions take you for the program. If you have completed the Teach for India program, then they directly hire you after few interviews. So right. So this is about the Teach for India. Uh, Teach for India program. What is Teach for India program, right? So let's begin the process, for which I'm sure you are here for that only. So Teach for India usually take fellows, and application usually begin. So filling of application usually begin in February or March, right? So this year, some of the applications begin in February, some of the applications begin in March, and this is for the program. Like if you are applying in February and March 2020, then you will going to spend 2 years. That is from 2020 to 2022. Okay. So basically, what they mentioned in the offer letter is May June 2020 to June 2022. So this is what you will get in the offer letter. For this year, the fellowship program is over, and what I'm going to explain to you is after getting the offer letter, I'm explaining you all the process, right? And I will also help you in preparing for this Teach for India fellowship program, right? So this is about the that fellowship for 2 years. Okay, so you need to fill the application first. It will begin in February or March. Okay, application is quite big, in which uh, in which you need to fill basic details. Along with that, there are 3 essays which you need to fill, which are quite important. One of the essays focuses on leadership, right? So you need to write these essays in 250 words nearly. One of the essays focuses on leadership. So if you want to apply for Teach for India program, maybe after 2 to 3 years, then I advise you to join some programs, to join some NGOs, or do something in which you are performing as a leader. Okay, so that you can mention it in your Teach for India essay. Okay, otherwise, let's say if you are not having any such experience, then it will get little tougher. Okay, if you are not having any such experience, then I suggest you to think about anything which you have done in your life for leadership purpose. And mainly, let me tell you one thing. What they ask you is you need to mention your leadership role 3 to 4 years ago only. Okay, and it should not be like this that I performed as a school monitor in my school. So this is not a leadership role according to them. And also, in true sense, also becoming prefect or head boy or class monitor is not a is a leadership role. But you cannot say that this is really challenging or this will help you in the corporate sector. So what I suggest you is to think about some leadership role where you have acted as a leader in the last 3 to 4 years, mainly in your college, mainly in your professional life. So that will help you. Okay. And if you're thinking of applying to Teach for India, then I suggest you to prepare yourself like this, that you do some leadership role, maybe an event management or any hiring process, or even in some NGOs also, that will be helpful. Okay. So one of the essays will be on leadership. Okay. They will ask you few questions there, and uh, you can tell about the leadership. One thing might be coming in your mind, that what we Indians do it, we do jugaad, right? That we will create some fictional scenario that okay, we acted as a leader in that in this sense, in that sense. See, some of the people can say this, okay, but as I will tell you in the further rounds, they will keep on asking the questions from your essay. So you might not be able to convince them unless you have performed the role. Okay. So that's why I suggest you to do some leadership role. If there is no leadership role in your career, then you can certainly make some fictional leadership role, right? There is no other option. Instead of saying that I have not done any leadership role, it is better to create some fictional story, maybe. Okay, but story should be convincing. Okay, so maybe you might have been I mean a member of an organization. You can say that I acted as a leader of that organization, and I managed the event also. But make sure that you understand that what are the leadership qualities, what leadership qualities you perform there, and what is the importance of leadership, right? So you should be able to basically convince them. So that's why I'm saying that whatever you are writing in the essays, make sure that you are able to convince them when they are taking the interviews, right? Second essay that will be focused on challenging work, something challenging work that you have faced in last 3 to 4 years. Okay, so again, last 2 3 to 4 years, you need to tell some challenging work. If you are a professional, then it will be helpful that you can mention some challenging work, that I have done this, that. Okay, or otherwise you can say I joined this NGO, and I did this challenging work. Or if you are working, then you can say I did this challenging work, any challenging work where target was quite ambitious, right? So you can mention here about your challenging work. Again, if you haven't done any challenging work, then again the process will become tougher, right? The Teach for India generally takes 3 to 8%. I mean, what I'm saying is, if 100 people are applying, then the selection ratio is 3 to 8%. So what I'm saying is, if 100 people are applying, then only 3 to 8 people get selected into the Teach for India. So it is very challenging and very good process. So it is not easy to pass this Teach for India fellowship program, but you should apply on this uh, to gain experience. Even if you are not, even if you have not, even if you are not having the experience of leadership and challenges, and also if you want to teach in the low budgeted schools, and you want to have a good thing on your CV, that I work for Teach for India. So it will be good in your CV, right? It will be act as a brand. So you can surely apply for Teach for India for that purpose. What I'm saying is, the process is quite challenging. That's why I request you to work on your leadership and challenging roles if you want to apply for Teach for India, maybe after 3 to 4 years, right? So this is about the challenging role that you can mention in the essays. Third essay will focus on quality education. What I suggest you to focus on is read ACER report. ACER report of Pratham NGO. Okay, ACER report. is released annually by Pratham NGO, and it is annual survey of education, some report. Okay, it's a report. Okay, you can Google it and you can read about it. You will going to learn about the quality education in India. That fourth class or fifth class student cannot do the sum of class two students. So some of these stats are presented by the ACER report. So you can study about the quality education in India. Also, you can read about the Article 21A, which provides the fundamental right of education. You can read about Right to Education Act 2009, right? So these things will help you to write these essays, right? So most probably the essays will remain the same or it might change. What I suggest you is when you're writing this essay in the platform of Teach for India, then better is to first write essay on MS Word. So MS Word will help you to correct your grammar, will help you to correct sentences and punctuation, etc. And after making changes in the MS Word, just copy everything into the platform of this Teach for India. One thing I didn't tell you, or you might know it beforehand also. Teach for India does teaching in English only. So that's why your English has to be of good. I mean, it should be of certain good level. Not should be, it should not. It is not like that. That it should be only excellent. Not just not only excellent. I mean, what I'm saying is it should be above average, right? This is their expectation that your English should be above average. So that's why what I'm saying is first write it in MS Word to avoid any mistakes. Once the mistakes are corrected by the MS Word, then you can directly copy paste into the application of Teach for India. Also, along with that, Teach for India also asks you about your professional achievements. So if you're a college going student, then you won't be having any professional achievements. Better is if you have worked in some NGO, then it will be good, right? So I suggest everyone, if you are in the college, that join some NGOs during that time. Okay, so that will help you a lot in maybe if you are applying for Teach for India, maybe if you are applying for GMAT, maybe if you are applying for MBA. So this NGO experience will help you a lot. Okay, and also let me tell you one thing: creating fictional things during interview or during the filling of application doesn't help you much, to be honest. Okay, I have tried these things in life. So it's better to have a real life experience of these things. Then you can tell things convincingly. Also, you can tell your experience at the personal level. So I suggest you to in life that try to have real life experiences, right? I hope I have explained everything of the application process. Once the application process is complete, the second step is they take one test. This is basically English test. Okay, basically this is an English test, and also they ask you one scenario test. So once the application form is complete, then one of the English test is asked. This is above average, right? This is above average, below cat level. Okay, below cat level but above average. They ask you synonyms, they ask you passages, they ask you rearrange of the sentences, right? So similar to that. Okay, this is above average, and there is one scenario test also. So what scenario is this? So let's say if you are a teacher and some of these students are not performing well, then what will you do? They will provide you four options there, and you need to tell the answer. Here also they will provide you options A, B, C, D, and you need to tell the answer. This is a time limit test. Both of these are time limit tests, and this is performed on the MCAT platform, right? So this is the thing about these two tests, and you need to perform well in these tests. So your application plus these tests will help you to reach the next round, right? Many students or many applicants get rejected in the first round itself, right? One thing which I didn't tell you is for application form there is no fee. So this is one good thing. There is no fee to apply for Teach for India, right? And you can apply it online easily. So if anyone is asking you for the fees, then he's providing you wrong information. Okay. So this is about the first round. What will happen after this is after some days, the second, if your application is accepted, your MCAT performance is good, then they will send you a mail. They will ask you to have one telephonic round. This is just 30 minutes telephonic round, and in this telephonic round, one of the Teach for India selector calls you and he asks about your application, and basically he checks whether your application is correct or not, whether you have mentioned things in a correct way, or you have written everything in a fictional way, or whether you are convincing or not in your application, or with your leadership, with your quality education, with your third essay was one challenging situation, right? So whether you are convincing or not in, in your essay or not. So one of the fellow will basically talk to you about that only. He will not ask you anything else. Okay. I hope this thing is clear. This is about asking on phone about your application. Okay. Asking on phone about your application. And in application, basically they ask you about your essays. Okay. So in this round, most of the applicants get selected until unless you have provided some fictional story and you are not able to convince them. Only then you will be rejected in this round, right? So once the first round is over, once second round is over, then you get into the third round. This third round, this used to happen. Let me clear the board. So this third round used to happen at the Teach for India Center till 2019, but this year this round happened remotely due to COVID-19 or coronavirus situation. This year this round happened remotely, so on Zoom this round happened. Okay, so this third round we are discussing about the third round. Only some of the fellows, like 25% to 26% of the fellows get selected for round 3, and out of these 25% to 26% fellows, they finally select up to around nearly 5% fellows. Okay, so 100 fellows applied, only 25 to 26 reached up in the round third, and from round 3 only 5 to 6 people reach into round, final selection. Okay, so let's discuss about this round, what exactly happens in the round, in the Zoom round or remote round or assessment center round. This round is called as assessment center round. However, as I told you, this year's situation is different due to coronavirus. No such round happened in assessment center. Rather, it happened over Zoom. Zoom is a software where remote meetings happens. You can download it and you can look into it. Right before the assessment center, they make you comfortable by forming WhatsApp groups. They conduct few rounds also, explaining you what is the expectation in the assessment round, right? So Teach for India selectors help you in getting comfortable for the assessment center round. What happened exactly in the assessment center round is, first is the introduction. Basically, you introduce yourself, right? Then there is one group discussion. In the group discussion round, they form you in group and see how you are behaving in a group, right? And in this group discussion round, what happened this year was they provided one scenario, and they gave you a time limit of nearly 20 minutes. They gave you a time limit of nearly 20 minutes, and what they ask is, in this 20 minutes round is, they divide the applicants into group of 6. It could be 7 or 8 also. Okay, they divided the applicants into the group of 6, and provided one activity to each of the applicant. Okay, so for one candidate they provided that, okay, you need to promote music in this school. For second candidate they said that you need to promote sports. For the third person they told him that you need to promote arts, and they provided limited number of hours. So basically the round was, you need to promote music, sports, arts, and you need to promote dance, you need to promote something else, you need to promote something else. And basically in the group discussion uh, you need to convince others that I want to promote music, I want to promote sports, I want to promote arts, I want to promote dance. And and in the group discussion you need to come out finally by saying what as a group you have decided to promote. Okay, so these individuals are basically promoting their own activities, and after the round as a group, you need to tell the selectors what you have finally selected. I hope you have got what I am trying to say. Basically, it is a 20 minutes group discussion round where they see how you are behaving in a group and whether you are able to take the decision or not in a group, how whether you are able to collaborate with others. Along with that, what they are also checking is whether uh, you are thinking about this 20 minutes or not. So they gave you 20 minutes for the discussion. So many of the applicants were not even thinking about this 20 minutes. They were kept on speaking for 20 minutes, and they didn't see when the time started and when will the time end. So what I suggest you in this round is, if your round is starting at 1:20 p.m., then keep a stopwatch with you, so that just mention 20 minutes, click start, and as the time is getting up, then keep on informing others. So selectors will keep on listening to you how you are behaving in the round. Okay, so time management is quite important. Also, your leadership skills are quite important, and how you are going to convince everything. Okay, so this is about this group discussion round. I hope things are clear to you. Then what happens in this assessment center? What is the next step in the assessment center? Next step is, so what I'm continuing is, all these things happen in the assessment center round. First was the introduction, second was group discussion. Now third thing which happens on the assessment center day is critical thinking round. So critical thinking. So basically, this in this round, they again test you on logical reasoning. So on logical reasoning. So on the Teach for India platform, they provided you a set of questions. Like in this year, they provided 13 questions in 25 minutes. And let me tell you, the level of questions was quite high. It was quite high. You need to think a lot while doing this round. If you're not thinking a lot, if your logical reasoning is not good, then you might not be able to answer these questions. I request you to solve few logical reasoning questions before coming to this round. This round was little tough. Okay, 13 question, 25 minutes. This was taking little bit of time. Okay, in the in the in the first round, I didn't tell you how many questions were there. There were nearly 20 questions in the English round, and in the scenario question, I don't remember how many questions were there. I think it was nearly 10 or more than 10. Okay, I don't remember the number of questions. Sorry, in that first round. If anyone gave the Teach for India uh, fellowship program this year, then they can mention in on the comment section how many questions were there in the round one. Okay, in the MCAT round. Okay, but in this question, in this critical thinking round, there were 13 questions, 25 minutes. And let me tell you, all the applicants have to go through this process. Introduction, second is group discussion, third is critical thinking on the assessment center, on the assessment day, right? And fourth is the personal interview. So this is 1 hour round, one very interesting round. So this is the personal interview, which is also uh, very important. So friends, now we are going to talk about the personal interview round, which is quite important and make or break in your further selection. Personal interview round. This will be a 1 hour round. This will be near 1 hour round, where again they will going to ask you questions from your application. So make sure you have read your applications well, and also make sure that you have written everything correctly. If you have not written everything correctly, then I request you to read your applications more carefully, right? Because you need to remember your life, and they will going to ask few scenario related questions, that how you will going to decide in various scenarios. Like one of the scenario was, the interviewer asked me to convince him as a parent of a student that he needs to attend a parents teacher meeting. I hope I'm clear to you. So he gave me 2 minutes to convince him, and he acted as a parent of a student to attend parents teacher meeting. So we need to think more about from the perspective of parent here, right? So I hope I've given you one of the scenarios that you need to convince the parent to attend the parents teacher meeting. Another scenario was, he asked me to convince the parent of a student to attend a training of management of budget, of management of funds and finance. Okay, so he asked me to convince him to uh, attend the training of budget, or management of finance, whatever you want to call. So these were the scenario related questions he asked me. Then he asked me why you want to join Teach for India, why only Teach for India, what will be a suitable location that you want to that you want that you will prefer if you join Teach for India. So there are several locations on which Teach for India is present, like Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, right? You need to mention whatever state or whatever city you want to work in. Another thing that was there in the interview, which is quite important, is a sample teaching. So in sample teaching, what you need to do is you need to prepare a sample lesson of 5 minutes from selected topics. So in this year, what Teach for India gave is they provided a few classes like second class, fourth class, sixth class, and eighth class. Like in eighth class, they ask you to choose any chapter from eighth class science book and prepare a 5 minute video lesson. Okay. When the assessment center, when the assessment center or assessment day happens of in or I mean face to face in their assessment center, usually this is the thing that used to happen in the previous years. Then they ask you to provide this sample teaching face to face. So a teacher will sit in front of you, and you need to explain him or teach him for 5 minutes face to face. So usually this happens for the candidates who live in cities like away from assessment centers. Like you might be living in some city, like maybe in some village in Uttar Pradesh, so you might not be able to come to the assessment center. Then your assessment center will happen over Skype or over Zoom, like it happened this year also. So in that case, you need to provide the sample teaching during the video only, like it happened this year. So what happened this year? This year everything was remote, as I told you. So you need to either prepare your sample video of 5 minutes before happening of this assessment day round, or you need to give the sample teaching on that day only. What I suggest you is to prepare the sample video beforehand, so that you can make changes also as and when required. I mean, you might not be able to teach well on the first go, so you can prepare few videos, 4 5 minutes video. I mean, 4 5 sample videos or 10 samples of video, and you can give give them the best video. Okay, you just need to upload the video on YouTube, Google Drive, Dropbox, and you need to just provide them the link. They will watch your video and provide you the feedback. So I suggest you to prepare the video beforehand, so that you are able to give the best video. I mean, best performance. Otherwise, if you are giving the sample teaching on that very day only in front of them, then I suggest you to prepare yourself for 5 minutes. And what you need to focus is, one need, they will provide you all the things what that you need to focus. You should focus on whether your students are understanding or not. I mean, whatever you are teaching, whether your students are understanding or not, you should be able to teach at that level, right? As I mentioned you, here you need to teach the second class, here you need to teach the fourth class, here you need to teach the sixth class, here you need to teach the eighth class. So if you're teaching to the student of the eighth class, then you cannot talk like a teacher who is teaching to a UPSC student, right? I hope this thing is clear to you. You need to choose any class, okay? But they will mention you that for second class you need to teach English. So you can check the NCRTs of class second and look into the chapters and teach accordingly, right? And so 5 minute sample video you need to prepare, and you need to teach them. And what I told you is you need to teach them at students level. And along with that, one thing is what they ask is how you will measure whether your students are understanding or not. So you need to basically ask the questions also during the lecture, and make sure that you are easy going. I mean, you are you are not stressed while teaching, right? So make sure these things are also happening. And for this whole assessment center round, make sure that you are enjoying the process. If you are looking stressed, that means you are afraid of things, and usually things will not happen in a very good way. So make sure that you are happy and enjoying the process, so that everything is going good. So this is true in case of any interview, right? If you are enjoying the process, then you are happy from inside, and it reflects from your face also. It reflects to the interviewer, and it provides the optimistic image of you and positive image, so it helps you further in clearing your doubts. So I hope I clarified you everything. So this all thing happens during the assessment center day. So after that, they tell you that we will going to inform you about the result within 10 days. And this time they gave the result even before that, just after 3 4 days. And they tell the selected candidates, okay, you are selected. Then next day they send the offer also. So the compensation that Teach for India provides is exactly 2412 rupees, and this is monthly. Okay. Unfortunately, this is quite low, but this is true in case of education sector in India. That's why education sector is not given true focus, right? Because the salaries are quite less. This is also quite less. I think it should be more. How it should be more, that I'm not sure, but it should be more, right? Otherwise, joining at 20,412 is, I mean, would be challenging for lots of people, especially great talent. They might not work for 20,400, 412, right? But however, you can see the benefits also, as I told you in the beginning, that Teach for India Fellowship Program is a prestigious program, and it helps you further in developing the qualities of leadership. And also, uh, they have a very good alumni, they have a very good leadership program, they have a very good system in place. And a lot of startups have generated from the Teach for India alumni, and Teach for India alumni is extremely helpful if you want to do MBA in future, right? So there are pros and cons. You can look into that. However the fees I feel is quite less. It should be. If you ask me, then I would like to. I will say it should be at least 50,000, right? It should be at least 50,000 according to me. This is my personal opinion. Otherwise, it becomes challenging, right? In today's time, 20,000 is quite less. It becomes challenging. So, anyways, we are not going into that detail. I told you, I think, everything about the Teach for India fellowship and their fellowship. As I told you, it's for 2 years, and fellowship training is given for 5 weeks in Pune. This year, they will provide fellowship training in Pune for 5 weeks, and you need to accept their offer, and then this will be a 5 week residential training in Pune, and you need to attend the training. And if you live in some other city, then they will provide you two tier two tier ticket two tier ticket. Also, they will manage your residential and compensation and everything. Along with that they will pay you 20,412. So they will manage all your expenses here if they send you to Pune. And they also provide you joining in various cities like Delhi or other cities. And they expect that you accept. Once you accept the offer, then you will going to stick for 2 years. Okay. And I think this is about everything about Teach for India. If there is any doubt, then please mention in the comment section. I will going to reply on that, or I will ask other fellows of Teach for India to reply. I have several contacts. Along with that, I will request you to help in promoting this video, help in promoting SY Academy, so that we are able to revolutionize this educational sector and make the education accessible to everyone, solve their problems, solve the doubts, and remove middlemen uh, between us and achieving great heights. Okay, friends, so this is all from my side. Thank you for watching this. Have a good day. Take care and enjoy lockdown time. Thank you.